Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you might be aware, for the past couple of years I've been the owner of a Volkswagen Caddy, a 1.6 turbo diesel maxi. Now the Caddy, I've been having a bit of a troubled relationship with it, put it that way. So it has now gone and I'm currently sat in its replacement. Now, before I go telling you about the replacement vehicle, I just want to spend a minute to explain to you why I've actually got rid of that Caddy. So I'm just going to start driving and then I'll get to explaining why it was that I've finally parted with that Caddy. Now, I don't want it to all be negative about the Caddy, so I'll start off with a couple of good points. The Caddy was I thought, a good looking van. I always liked the look of the Volkswagens, so that was mainly one of the appeals to me of purchasing that Caddy. Secondly, it was always a comfortable drive, and generally people do like Volkswagens, so you know, people would look at it and they would quite often show an interest in the van just because it's a Volkswagen. But now we're going to get to the three reasons why I ended up actually parting with that Volkswagen Caddy. Now for me, that vehicle had to do three things. The first thing it had to do, which it wasn't doing, was it had to get me to work reliably. Now, due to very common faults with the vehicle, it was less than reliable, put it that way. I think most of the problems stem from the 1.6 TDI engine. So they are riddled with injector problems, DPF problems, and just general reliability problems. Not only are they riddled with these problems, someone like myself, I could get some spanners out and have a go at fixing the van. But the problem with the Caddy is cannot get cheap parts. So if an injector was to fail every 40,000 miles, which is about what they do on the 1.6, that's going to cost you 600 odd quid for an injector. Bearing in mind you've got 4 of them, so do the maths, that's a £600 injector every 10,000 miles that's going to be failing on you, minimum. Not only that, that injector needs to be coded in at either a Volkswagen dealership or at a Volkswagen specialist, so that's an additional cost. And generally the Caddy was just breaking down and providing lots of issues. The second reason that I decided to part with the Caddy was actually the fact that I needed to tow a track car. Now, I should have done the research. It's not the Caddy's fault necessarily, but when I purchased the Caddy, I just assumed that a long wheelbase van as big as that, I just assumed automatically it could tow a car, surely. Well, actually, no. It only can tow, that was the highest towing capacity Caddy, but it can still only tow 1.5 ton. Now my Evo was about 1.5 or 1.6 ton, and with a trailer on top, 600-700 kilograms, you're in the low 2 tons, you know, sort of tow in there, and the Caddy's just never going to tow that car legally. Now it could probably tow like a Peugeot 106 perhaps, but with regards to the Evo, it's just a no-go, it's not happening. And the third and final thing that I need from my van is a decent payload. Now my job or my business is a window cleaning business, and the modern type of window cleaners generally have a big water tank in the back of the van full of purified water, and that's what they use to clean the windows. Now the more water you can carry, the more work you can do in a day before you've got to go home and refill. Now that Caddy was could carry enough water for myself to do a full day. But now that my brother started coming with me now and then, we're just running out of water like way too early. So on a daily basis, actually, that van is costing me money in the sense of lost work. So just to recap then, why have I got rid of that caddy? Number one, it was very unreliable. Number two, it does not have a high enough towing capacity for what I need. And number three, it doesn't have a high enough payload. Okay, so now we're going to look at the vehicle that I've actually purchased, and I'm going to show you how it fixes those 3 complaints I had with the caddy, and also I'm going to show you some of the other benefits that this vehicle has over the caddy. So let's have a look at this van. Here it is. Here's the new van. Now, it's a Toyota Proace. It's the 2 litre and it's the long wheelbase model. We'll take a look inside, and basically it's about a year old when I bought it. The reason I went for one that's about a year old, new vans are very inflated at the moment. This was inflated too, price wise, but the new ones, there's also like a year lead time plus. So yeah, that's why I went for a near new one. It's currently got 18,000 miles on it. When I bought it, it had 14,000 miles on it. So yeah, this is the van. It's I think quite a good looking van, and with the long wheelbase as well, much more practical for me. Gives me a lot more room for my work and just generally my well, convenience really, doing tip runs and things like that. So yeah, let's go back to the 3 points that I was on about. How does this fix the 3 problems that I had with the caddy? Well, number one, it only had 14,000 miles on it when I bought it. The caddy had 140 when I got rid of it. I don't do a lot of mileage, so I'm hoping that mileage is going to stay quite low. Also, it's got a manufacturer warranty for up to 10 years. So this van comes in a Peugeot and a Citroen. The Toyotas are more expensive, but for me, that 10-year warranty was worth paying the premium for. So yeah, that's how it fixes the reliability issue. And I have to say, since purchasing the vehicle, I've had absolutely no issues with it. Now, the second point why this van fixes the complaints I had with the caddy, that is the towing capacity. Now, I had to get a very specific trim in order to have the towing capacity that I wanted. It's quite surprising. A lot of this medium-sized van then, they all seem to stop towing at about 1,500 to 2 ton. I really wanted about 2.5 ton. So in order to get that 2.5 ton towing capacity, so I can tow the Evo on a trailer to track days, the Nürburgring or wherever I want to go, I had to get this specific model. Now, I had to get the 2 litre engine. It had to be the 120 brake horsepower 6-speed manual. If I went for the 1.5, I could only tow 2 ton. If I went for the 180 horsepower automatic, I don't think I could even tow 2 ton with that, which is weird because that's technically the top of the range model. But the 2 litre 6-speed 120 brake, this is the one that just gets stuff done. It just tows up to 2.5 ton legally, which is way more than I'm ever going to need with that Evo. Okay, so how does this van fix my third and final complaint with the caddy? Well, this is in a league of its own when it comes to payload. 1,500 kilograms. Nothing comes close to that I could see, unless you're going for some enormous, you know, massive Mercedes Sprinter or something like that. But even then, you can't really carry more than 1,500 kilograms on a UK driver's license. So you're limited really. And this van just ticked that box. It does seem like an obscenely high payload. Transit Customs, the T6s, they don't come anywhere near that. But when you think about it, that payload take off, say, a tank of diesel and the driver and the passenger, you might only be down to 1100 kilograms by then. You probably want 100 or 200 kilograms headroom so you don't get done if you ever get pulled over. And then really usable weight, then you've got to say 900 kilograms. So that 900 kilograms is pretty much taken up by this 700 litre water tank. The tank on top, so let's say what, 750 kilogram. Then we got this battery here, say 50 for that. We're at 800 now. Then we got these 2 reels full of water. They're very heavy as well. They're probably about 900. And then, you know, probably 100 or 200 kilograms of headroom then for just gutter vacs and things like that I would use in work. So I did say that there was other benefits to buying this van as well. So it's got the aircon, it's got the automatic climate control, it's got cruise control, it's quiet, it's efficient. So going to these track days, I've never gone on a track day and come back and thought, you know what, that was a really comfortable day. I've always driven there in the car that I've gone around the track in. Usually those cars are quite raw and they take their toll on you, don't they, if you're in them all day. The benefits to this on the track day, you know, I can tow the car there. I've got the 45 mpg of the van, cruise control, automatic climate control, the reliability. Then we take the car off the trailer, do our track day. If anything goes wrong, well, I can actually carry tools and spares now. So I'll have a van full of spares and tools. If it goes so wrong the car blows up, well, I'm not going to be stranded 6 hours away from home. I can just winch the car back on the trailer and drive home. Hopefully you've enjoyed seeing the van, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.